Hey, hey! Welcome to Candidly Speaking with Chelle and Kelle. I'm Kelle.
I am Chelle. How are you, Kellen?
I'm tickled that we're all here.
I tell you what, I am barely here. Have you ever had one of those days that kind of just kicked your hind end and handed it to you?
Yep, I've had many of those.
This is one of those days, y'all. I am sorry. I am not at the top of my game today. So
You know what?
my
I think we used all our awesomeness last night on Christopher's.
Is that what we did? Is that what we did? I'm gonna say that's what we did. So I'm sorry. You usually try to on days like this, if I know on Wednesday when we do our show, if I know I'm gonna be doing it from the office like this, I try to remember to bring, my makeup bag or a hairbrush or something. Yeah. None of that happened. I just spilled sweet tea everywhere. I'm writing a bid that's due in a couple of hours. And the sweet tea that I spilled was all over the notarized parts of the bid. So
I feel bad that you can't drink it.
Me too. Hi, Lynn. How are you? Hello. I love Lynn. We are just getting to know each other. Thank you. And Lynn, I appreciate you being there last night and tonight as well.
Yeah.
So
she's a very good supporter of both
but
of us.
I'm having a pity party and I need to get over it.
Okay, well, we have a super great guest, but I guess we should talk
sure do.
But we should talk about sponsors and stuff like that.
Yes.
So first we have Blue Sky Video Productions, our own Bruce Himmelblau, producer, YouTube strategist extraordinaire. He makes all of this happen so that we can concentrate on our guests and, pull ourselves together. We'll just say it that way, right? We have Goodwin Graphics. We love Ronnie Goodwin.
We do.
He is sending us a surprise, I was told. So I can't wait for us to receive it.
Yay!
It's a surprise, so I don't know what it is. And he is cottonfeelsgood.com. He does a lot of wonderful t-shirts, branded material. He's just a great guy. I mean, even if you don't need something, go buy something because he's just awesome. And then there's me, Cards That Wow. And this is a preview of Mother's Day. I know it's not even, Valentine's Day is just over, but this is a mother and a daughter, and I can do a mother and however many children she have. And if you have boys, it can be blue or purple or whatever. So if you're thinking about something different for Mother's Day, definitely check out Cards That Wow. So there's our housekeeping.
Wonderful ideas.
Phil.
Hey, Coach Phil, how are you?
I am the worst friend for Coach Phil. I was supposed to call him yesterday at 5:30, and I still haven't called him. So.
Well, I had a feeling that we would see Coach Phil here this evening because he is a fan of our guest. I think that that feeling is mutual. We are so excited. Y'all, this is a record for us here at Candidly Speaking with Chelle and Kelle. We have the youngest guest ever, and he is an absolute delight. He has told us that he is now 13.
Yes.
And y'all are going to be blown away. You're absolutely going to be blown away. When I was 13, we were talking last night. We were on Christopher Roush's show. I think I was playing Barbies when I was 13.
And I was playing with Breyer horses.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wasn't doing what Luke is doing.
Well, he's done more at 13 than I think a lot of adults have done in their.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you guys are going to love him. I know you're going to love him.
He is motivational. He's a YouTube influencer. He's a goal setter. He's just doing all kinds of things. And he's 13 years old.
Yes.
So help us welcome from Calgary, Alberta, Luke Aberle.
Luke.
Hello, everyone. I have to say those intros are truly awesome. The music, it's a good vibe.
We got a snappy little thing.
We do. I always do this,
I'm always like this.
Yeah, you've got to kind of tap your toe to that. No way to avoid it. So he was younger on his show. Okay.
Okay, rub it in, Phil.
That's right. So, Luke, what is up? How are you?
I am doing fantastic, and it's good to see Lynn and Phil on here today. actually, Kellen, when I talked to Kellen for the first time, Kellen was like, Luke, you have to talk to Phil. And then, so that's how I met Phil. I met Phil when I was 12 still, and met Kellen when I was 12 still too. And it's crazy how this full circle comes back for connections.
Yeah, because you were on Phil's show. Because I
was.
said you have to have this guy on your show. You have to have him, and you were amazing on that show too. So I'm so excited to have you here with us, and I'm glad that this timing worked out for you. So
absolutely. Well, so Luke, so are you in school now? Are you all in? Are you doing hybrid? Are you doing NTI? Are you in school? What's going on in Calgary?
Yeah, so I'm homeschooled for the past 2 years. I was in regular school when we before we moved here to where our dream place is. And it's crazy because even, when my parents, like 15 years ago or whatever, we used to, even when I was like a baby, we used to camp here all the time. And it was super cool when we camped here because it was like awesome. And that's what got me into photography and all that. And it's cool now because the place that we used to camp in and travel, hopefully it would be awesome if we could do twice a year. Now we live here, which it's pretty cool.
Good for you. So cool. Where are you from then originally?
I was from a Medicine Hat, which is about 3 hours from Calgary. Completely different. So Calgary, I'm a little bit towards the forest. So it's forests and mountains and stuff. Medicine Hat is prairies. It's fields, prairies, not much going on. It's a good place, but for me, I love hiking and mountain biking and stuff like that. So for me, it's a totally different world.
Well, good for you. Good for you. You're just so cute. I can't, and I'm sorry. I please don't be offended when I say that, but you are. And Kellen does not have a son. Kellen has a beautiful daughter. I have a beautiful daughter too. I have a beautiful son, and you're just so cute, just so adorable.
But don't let that cuteness fool you.
I'm not, because I understand what all's going on, under that baseball cap. I understand.
Yep. There's lots going on under that baseball cap.
Let me ask you this, Luke. So you were on Coach Phil's show. You're doing all this stuff. Why are you on all of these people's shows? What's going on with you? Because people don't normally have 13-year-old guys on their show. So what's up with you, Luke?
Everyone always asks me if they can, I love being on podcasts, by the way, because it's super cool to connect with you guys, connect with an audience, and I love doing it. When I guess this kind of could tie into when I started my business. I started first of all, going way, way, way back when I was saying I was camping and stuff. I loved camping. And then when I was about 4 years old, my dad gave me my first camera. It's a point and shoot camera. Keep it on my shelf right over there. And it was a small can point and shoot camera. And I took photos of everything and anything that I could possibly take pictures of. Trees, forests, cooking, my family, everything I would take a picture of. And it took these little AA batteries, and I'd go through like 6 AA batteries a day, taking as many pictures as I could. But that really got me into like the camping and the creativity space. And then when I was 7 years old, I really started to get more into technology and that kind of things, MacBooks. Well, that was like my first computer and I loved it. I was like, it was my dream come true, and all that kind of stuff. And watching YouTubers, I really enjoyed watching them review products. They would get a product, they would unbox it, and then they review it and give their opinion on it. And I thought that was so cool. But when I looked at that, I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if you could like connect with like other kids who were doing that or whatever? But I noticed that like not many other, actually at the time, no kids were reviewing products, tech products. There's Ryan Toy's review, which he's doing awesome things with that, but no people who are reviewing tech products and camping gear and photography equipment. And for me, I'm like, well, I want to change that. I want to do that. And now in today's, it's crazy to see how many kids are actually doing that. There's my friends or whatever, they're photographers and doing YouTube stuff, which is super cool to see. But that was kind of my thing for me. Is I always said, actually my poster is just down here, but I always said, I always give a kid's opinion on a grown-up's world, which is my tagline. And so I always had a different perspective than adults. Whenever I would say, when I'm reviewing products, my perspective is different. And so I launched my company, lukesview.com, when I was 9 years old, launched the websites, built the website, and then that was it. And then I just kind of started creating content, connecting with people. My dad always says, connect with people that you want to be like. And so that's what I did. I connected and talked and created masterminds and things like that. And people would always be like, I'd go on Instagram and reach out to photographers, be like, do you want to join my free mastermind? And they're like, why is it free? And I'm like, I don't know, it's free. And then they're like, do you want to join? And they're like, sure. And then we join, and then it would be super active for like a month. And then a few months later it would die down and no one would be active. And so I'd create another mastermind and get more people. And that was my whole thing of just connecting and getting people, just connecting and talking with them.
That's brilliant.
That is absolutely brilliant.
So let's talk about, I guess you would say, your mentor, idol, Bob Proctor. Now, not many 12-year-olds or 13-year-olds that I know of even know who that is. So how were you introduced to him?
So my dad is a huge Tony Robbins fan first. He's been watching and learning Tony Robbins material for 20 plus years, I would say. And so, he's also been a huge fan of Bob Proctor. And when I first got into the business world, that's when he kind of opened me up to these mentors, Chet Holmes, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Brian Tracy. All these people came in, and he was like, these are like the holy people of like business and entrepreneurship and stuff like that. Like, these are the people that you want to look up to and read their books and stuff. And I'm like, cool. Like, my first book, I'm doing a video that's launching tomorrow, I believe, on the top 8 books that changed my life. But one of them was by Dean Graziosi, who's a super good friends with Tony Robbins. And his book, Millionaire Success Habits, is a book I took to school when I was in grade 4 and 5. And it was a super cool book. For me, everyone always asks if I read a ton of books. I don't read a ton of books. For me, and I said this in the video too, it's hard for me my brain is always thinking, it's always getting ideas and always doing things. And so whenever it sits down for 30 minutes to read a book, it's too quiet and it almost gets more ideas than normal. So for me to actually finish a book means it was actually a really good book. And so I finished Millionaire Success Habits, and I was the had some businessy book there. Even one of the teachers told me, they said, you should start reading more fiction books. And I asked her why. She said, it's good for your creativity. And I said, doesn't really make any sense. And so I kept taking more business books to school, even more than I was before. And but that was the cool part. And then Bob Proctor, my dad introduced me to him when I was 9 years old. And then I instantly just started watching everything and anything. And then his Thinking to Results program, we purchased it a couple of years ago. And we binge watch that. We even use that at like family movie nights sometimes. And it was just, for me, Bob Proctor he changed my life the most. I would say Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi. Well, actually, I can't pick all of them. Now I'm just going to say all of them again. But they're all super awesome. And they just really shaped who I am. So Bob Proctor, he's a huge mentor to me and my dad. My dad got the privilege to speak with him. And unfortunately, he passed away a few weeks ago. But what I always say, it's unfortunate, but I think if we keep carrying on his legacy, keep doing what he was doing, he had a passion and a vision, and his programs, he got to every single country in the world, and that was a goal for him. Well, that's pretty huge. Every single country in the world, that's pretty awesome, even including all the small ones and all the big ones. And so I think continuing his journey, continuing what he taught, what he was wanting and giving to people and his knowledge, I think is super awesome. And so if we can keep putting that out, Bob Proctor, sure, he passed away, but his legacy didn't. And we have to, if we keep putting forward his legacy, that's the best part. And we can really still change a lot of lives.
I'll tell you, Bob Proctor is lucky to have someone like you passing on his legacy.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, so let me ask you this, Luke. Do you have a creative outlet? Do you like to express yourself in any type of creative way?
See, now that's the secret question I was going to ask. So we're going to do this at the same time. No, we're going to do this at the same time. So okay. In that, with Michelle's question, and then on top of that, I want you to define creative.
Define creative.
No, it's not.
For me, creativity is, some people always say it's a certain way. It's painting, it's photography, it's speaking. There's a whole bunch of different ways to express your creativity. But, that's a good question. I would say for me, creativity, what it means is creating things that are meaningful to me. Some people create a YouTube video. They start up a YouTube channel or Instagram account because they saw someone that they admire. And they're like, I'm going to create really good photography and I'm going to get famous in over a week or whatever. But when you do that, that's not creativity. That's just trying to do something but that you're not truly passionate about. And creativity for a lot of people can be different things. For Kellen, it's painting, right? I know Kellen loves painting. And so those different things for me, I love photography. That's how I express my way. I love taking pictures of things around me that express what I love, whether that's mountains, whether that's flowers, whether that's trees or birds or squirrels or whatever it is. I love just taking pictures of whatever and making videos that hope to inspire other people. And some people get bogged down when they're like, my video only got 50 views. I look at that. If you take off a few views, that's 40 people who watched your video. Now, if you have a crowd of people who are 40 people and you're speaking in front of that, that's quite a few people. So I always look at it as that way. And so even if I get the best comments ever is when kids comment on my videos or the parents talk to me and say, you know, I was showing my daughter or my son your YouTube channel. It's so cool. Like they just love what you're doing. And that's like the best part for me. And I think that's why I love what I do and why I keep doing it. And that's for me, creativity is helping people and just creating something that hopefully inspires other people. And that's what I was saying with Bob Proctor. He was very creative because he started helping other people and he created that journey. And those are some of my photos that I have on there.
Those are fabulous.
Absolutely. There you go.
And they're not the traditional photos that most people have. Like most people take a photo of there's lakes where I live where everyone takes a photo of it. I've never been to the lake because I like to take pictures of things that sometimes most people might not take pictures of, different spots and different angles that people might not see. I got a new drone for Christmas. I've been doing some cool sunset shots and moon shots and
that's
down
a great
the alleyways.
shot.
I love the one with the sunset there through the trees. That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
What's your dog's name?
My dog's Beau. That's his name. Beau.
Aw.
Adorable.
Okay, Phil says that we're supposed to ask you about your ATV.
My ATV. Phil, Phil, I've talking to you about too many things. My ATV, I set out a goal around September I got obsessed with an ATV. Now I haven't posted a photo on my Instagram yet, which I will be, but that's my lawn tractor as well. So that's another one of my things. But for me, my ATV, I just got obsessed with it and I really wanted to achieve one. For me, it just clicked one day. I was like, I want an ATV. And then normally for me, it's like, you know, sometimes if a goal isn't truly there, it'll die off in a few days. But this, I kept doing it. And so I got a goal card written by Bob Proctor and wrote down that goal. And I said, I'm so happy and grateful now that I own an ATV that is paid for in cash and I go to the trails every weekend. And so that's September. And now at the time for me, I was making an allowance of $20 a month. So it's an ATV costing over $5,000 used. So getting that, it's a pretty big step. And so doing that, when you really, really want something, you figure out every and any way to get that thing. And so I worked every day, almost lots of times weekends, every day, getting people, just creating relationships with people and just seeing whatever I can do. Hey, can you help me with this? Sure. And lots of time I do it for free, but if I get to pay from that, it's awesome. And so I just worked my way up. Once I got enough money, I spent 75% of my money on something. And so now 75% of the money is gone. Everyone said, well, that's a pretty big risk you're taking, that if you don't get your money back, that's a pretty big thing. And so I put that into a buying and selling thing on Facebook Marketplace. I've been watching the marketplace for quite a while, and I knew one thing that people were very wanting to get, and I needed one because if I can make it, I can make a huge profit plus make all my money back, and it would really get me towards the ATV. So I did it. I plunged in, I bought it, and I used it. Actually, it was a snowblower, Honda snowblower track snowblower, and they cost quite a bit brand new. And with everything going on, buying and selling is the best decision because people can't get very many things right now.
Right.
It's hard to get anything brand new. ATVs, especially if you want to get an ATV, you're lucky if you can get it by next winter. And so when I did that, one sec, I talk way too fast. But with that, I I got that snowblower. I used it for snow, and then I sold it instantly within 2 days. People were begging me to buy it. So they're like, how much? I'll pick it up right now. And it already sold or whatever. So I made a good profit off of that. And my goal was just to help people. Me and my dad have our mastermind called High Frequency Habits.
Right.
And we just help people achieve their goals. We figure out what their goals are and we help them. And that's what I did. I'm just like, I just want to help people. And so another goal card I have is helping, I believe, 30 people in the next 90 days with our mastermind. But with the ATV, finally 3 weeks ago, I picked up the ATV and bought it. And now I own it and went to the trails a few times and drive around our property. And so that's a pretty cool goal that took me a long time, but it's my dream.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
now
you.
bring up what Eric
Luke.
said. Because Eric said every time you hear old people talk about how bad the next generation is, look at a young man like this. The world isn't as bad as our phone says it is. Well, amen to that.
That's the truth, fam.
Thank you, Eric.
That is the truth. So are you a gamer at all?
My brother's more of a gamer. I mean, I asked for a Nintendo Switch for my birthday like 3 years ago or whatever. It hasn't gotten a ton of use, unfortunately. But you know, I try to play with my brother. He always is like, Luke, can you play with me? He's a huge Minecraft fan, and he's
younger than you, correct?
Yeah, he's 10 years old now.
Okay.
And he started his own YouTube channel, and he does Lego stop motions and Lego videos and Minecraft videos. And so he has his own YouTube channel called Create Ev. And he does all that kind of stuff. So for me, he's a little bit more in the gamer thing than me. And I'm a bit more on the photography and helping people and
entrepreneur.
coaching. Yeah. Yeah, that's my YouTube channel. And I did a lot of vlogs on there for quite a while of just my daily life. And those are super fun to make because you can include anything and everything you want. You can do time lapses, you can do everything. And you know, I just did even time lapses of me mowing the lawn of things. There's just things that I thought were cool and that really just inspired me. And I just thought we're creative and anyway.
So if you're watching today, be sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Along as ours too.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to grow those numbers. So so we talked about, okay, art. Is photography considered your art?
I would say so.
Okay. And then we talked about being a YouTuber. And do you want to say anything more about the high frequency habits? Like how can people, what happens? Do they sign up and then they do a Zoom call, or can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so actually most people, what they do is when someone, I always get a lot of messages, I think everyone does, is they message you saying, hey, what business are you in? And you say, I'm in coaching. And then they say, oh, cool, I help coaches do this. The problem with that is they don't build a relationship with you first. And I highly believe in relationships. There's no connection and say, well, why would I pay you $197 a month, even though I don't know you? And they say, they can't really answer that. So for me, with me and my dad, we've been doing almost every week a free open house mastermind. No pitch, no. Kellen, you were on, I think.
I know, I love it. I've been to it twice, I think now. I think I've been to it twice.
I really appreciate that. There's no pitch, there's no sell. We come on, we watch one of the Bob Proctor videos, and we talk about goal setting and all that. And so actually we have one coming up in 30 minutes. We're doing one tonight. But they're super cool. And so we do that. And then people come back to me, they're like, holy cow, I didn't realize there's like so many things that were like blocking me or whatever. I really need to like start working on my goals. For me, I really believe in goals, because if I don't have a goal set down, for me, when I wake up in the morning, I don't know what I'm working towards. Like for me, saying I want 50,000 subscribers is good, but it's not my main goal. For me, I want to help people. And so, you know, for me, just having a goal that really determines me with a quad, and sometimes the hard part about a goal is not knowing what to do next. That was the hardest part, is you're like, okay, I need to make money. How do I do that? And it's like, you're trying to figure it out. So that's the hard part, is it's like half the time you're like, I don't even know what to do. And so recalibrating yourself, doing a little meditation exercise and writing down, doing it, you have to just think about that and be like, okay, getting realigned. What do I really want? And all that good stuff. So yeah, that's our mastermind. And then you come on, you you go on the free session, then we'll talk to you about it after. But if you really enjoyed it, then we'd love to have you on. But yeah, that's what happens.
It's awesome.
So if you're watching now, he's having a mastermind in 30 minutes. I would be there if I wasn't writing a bid that's due in a few minutes. But that's amazing. I will definitely catch one of these. And I recently became Facebook friends with Troy, your father. So yeah, you guys will be seeing me. That is amazing. So very impressed with you, Luke. I know that you talked some about scary goals. I thought that was intriguing. Can you just briefly tell us a little bit about that? What's a scary goal for you?
So one of the things now in our mastermind, Bob Proctor talks about this, but there's different types of goals that come about that. There's A-type goals, B-type goals, and C-type goals. A-type goals is something you can do, right? Like right now, I think we can all agree if we want $20, it's pretty easy to get $20. We can do something, we can go on Fiverr or do something. That's a goal that we know we can do, right? A B-type goal is maybe making $5,000 in the next month. It's harder for some people, it's a lot harder, but for most people it's harder, but it's not impossible. It just takes a little more work, a little more effort. A C-type goal is something that feels impossible, like making $1 million or $100,000 in the next month. That's a lot harder to do. And so for me, with my quad, a C-type goal, my quad was totally a C-type goal because for me, I had never even dreamt about making that much money. And so for me, some people always get obsessed with the money. I figured out, well, money, obviously, it comes from somewhere. So first of all, how am I going to make that money? Well, I'm going to make $5,000 somehow. How am I going to do that? So I say, well, I'm going to help people. And if I keep chasing after the money and worrying about getting money every time I call someone or text someone or whatever, it's going to take me a lot longer. So worry about building relationships first and helping people. And those people will fall in love with you and actually want to come on and do more business with you. And so for me, those scary goals can be whatever you want, but creating scary goals that really, really scare you, that's the best part because they feel impossible, right? And making those goals that feel impossible, that's what makes the daily life so cool and so intriguing. It's like, okay, I have a goal today. I have to achieve it. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how to do it exactly, but here we go. Let's do this. And so scary goals are generally, they don't have to be something super epic, like getting a mansion in the next week or something like that. Scary goals can even just be learning a new skill, right? Something that maybe painting, right? For some people, painting. I mean, I'm not a very good painter. I haven't painted in years now, but painting for me is something of a scary goal and something that I'd like to do. For me, reading a 700-page book, my brother and mom always read books like that. For me, that seems very hard to do. For me, focusing on a 150-page book for 2 months seems really hard. But for them, reading a 700-page book is something that they know they can do. And so there's different types of goals, and that's what I would call a scary goal. And yeah.
So you think it's how much you push yourself is how scary it is. So the more you have to push yourself, the scarier it is to you.
I would say so, but also being, if it feels truly impossible, like when you think of that goal, for example, if you think of a certain goal and it's like, and you kind of get shivers and it kind of is like, whoa, that's kind of weird, right? That's what a scary goal is. It actually kind of scares you, right? And an A-type goal, which is a not scary goal, is something like, if you want to, for example, if you want to walk 20 miles in a week, right? For some people that can be a scary goal too, but for some people, they're like, okay, I haven't done that before, but I'm pretty sure I can if I just do a little more walking, if I get outside a little more. I hope that wasn't the best example ever, but I think it's a little better.
Sure.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
You are just, and you're just wise beyond your years, Luke. And I know that you're pressed for time. I know that you have to get ready for your mastermind call. But I just want to quickly, I want to ask you two more things. And
then I have one more
question. You go ahead.
No, go ahead. Do your two, and then I'll do mine.
Okay. First, I mean, what do you want to do? And I feel like this is a silly question, but maybe not. What do you want to do as a career? Do you want to just do you want to continue doing what you're doing, or do you want to go to med school? I mean, what do you want to do?
I would say for me, the hard part about that is for me, I love what I do right now, but I can't exactly predict what the future is for me yet. I'm always changing, I'm always trying out new things, all that kind of stuff. And so for me, sticking to one thing, I mean, people ask me that, and what I always answer with is, no matter what I do, what I want to do, what I change into, I always know that my goal is to help people. Right? No matter what real change I do, or if I become a welder, if I become, don't own a welder, but a welder just came up, but welder or builder or businessman or entrepreneur, whatever it is, I always know that my number one goal, whatever I do, is to help people in any way possible.
In your 7th grade, 8th grade?
8th grade. That's right.
Okay. My other question, and it's a personal one. So I'm sorry if this is too personal. Do you have a crush?
I do not. I don't even hang out with around. No, I don't have any people really. Technically, 99% of my friends are virtual. I don't know much people actually that are surrounding me. The only person that I would say online that I've met online that's within a 30-minute distance from me is Phil, who also lives.
Coach Phil. Okay.
Coach Phil. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one, though. That's a good one. Okay, my question is future, something for the future. But would you ever consider writing a book?
I have. I've gotten offers about writing books and doing partnership. Technically, actually.
Oh, I should have done my research.
Actually, technically, I was in a book. I didn't write the book, but I spoke in a book. Now, this piece of paper is attached to it. But this book right here with Andrew Azumi, see, there's Andrew, my dad, and me right there. So technically, I was in a book. It was a chapter of a book that I was in, but I haven't fully written that. That was just a transcript from a video. But for me, I totally have considered writing books. I have lots of ideas for writing books. But nothing fully in progress yet.
I'm picturing a photo book with your marvelous pictures.
I would love to do that too.
Mm-hmm. That's where I was going with this. So,
wow.
Well, that's what I have, and let's see, we're right on where we need to be, because we know that you have to be somewhere.
You have to go. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us, Luke?
I always do this at the end of speaking. So I always like to say, I don't know, maybe people have heard this before, but just start. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to be. But when you just start, you started, and that's the hardest thing for many people to do. But now you did, and that's the best thing you can do. And just keep doing it and working towards that, and hopefully achieving your goal.
That's amazing.
You are a sweetheart, Luke. I just am so excited to just watch you over the next, years, and just see you. I mean, you're already blossoming, but just see where you go, because you are already doing great things, and you are going to continue just to set the world on fire. So we're just, we can say we knew you when, who knows where you're going to end up, dude. So we're just so proud of you. You just
we
keep
are.
going.
I just love that you were here and that you had time for us. And, and you're such a great interview. You really are.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay, guys, find him. Coach Troy, that's his dad. There you go. There's their website. Go to the mastermind. I'm going to be there, not tonight, writing a bid, but I'll be there soon.
Yep. High Frequency Habits is the name of the mastermind. And I highly recommend it. I do. I've been to a couple of them, and check out Luke's YouTube and his Instagram. You're just such a fun kid. You really are.
Thank you guys.
And then be sure to subscribe to us. We'd like to get above 20. Luke, tell your friends.
Yes, I will. Let's get you guys to 20 this week.
Yeah. That'd be great. That'd be great. That's a scary goal for us. We've already got scary.
Well, thank you all. Thanks everybody for tuning in and asking questions. And thank you, Luke, for being here. And Michelle, thank you for always being you.
Oh, Thank you. Thanks. And sorry I'm so today. Thanks
Nope,
for making
you're-
me better. Luke, you made me better. Thank you.
Yes.
You were perfect today.
So next week we have Scott McCain. So that'll be a fun show. So
All
if
right.
you guys
Excited to
have
watch
time,
that.
set
Yeah.
your alarms and
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
you do to notify you that we're on the air and make sure that happens. And we will definitely see you next week.
You got it. All right. Y'all have a great week. See ya.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.